Hey friends, I'm Laura Zam, and today I'm going to be talking about the pleasure pouch, something I'm talking about all this month of January, and specifically I'm going to be talking about what to put in your pleasure pouch. So join me for the conversation. Hi, we're talking about the pleasure pouch. This is part 2 in a 3-part series talking about how we can bring more joy into our day using something called a pleasure pouch. And a pleasure pouch is just a pouch filled with all kinds of goodies. See the first part of this series to get more information on it. Today, what I want to focus on is what to put in your pouch. So I want to give you the full array of stuff that I have in my own pouch, which I carry around with me, to give you all kinds of ideas, okay? So I'm going to just take them out here, and I'm going to just, there's a lot, but I'm going to just go one by one, and hopefully some of these things are going to spark your imagination, because what I would love for you to do is to put stuff in your own pleasure pouch, to get a cute little mini purse like this, or a bag or something, or even an old wallet, and start to fill it with some things that you can carry around with you to bring you joy and to remind you of your unique and fabulous essence. All right, my friends, here we go. I've got 3 different teas. I'm obsessed with tea. I'm writing a book about tea. I love going to the cafe and ordering a cup of tea, hopefully a pot of tea. But often the selection is, I don't know, I find it a bit limited, uninspired. So I bring my own tea bags that I can supplement. And some of these also, a couple of these were a gift from a friend, and so I also have them there as a reminder of this gift and of this friendship. So you can have mementos in there as well. Let us stay with the cafe a moment. And if you don't hang out in cafes like I do, you might go downstairs or wherever it is and just grab a cup of coffee or something. So this also applies. These are treats. I never go anywhere without some treats. First of all, I'm one of those people where when my blood sugar is low, I just get really hangry, right? Angry and hungry. I just get very irritable. So it's very good for me to carry something around with me. But also, as I mentioned in my prior video, part 1, I find it rather barbaric when they serve me a coffee or tea and they don't give me a little treat. So I bring my own. So you can put into your pouch something for your blood sugar, but more something for your fun palate. All right. These are some crystals that were also gifted to me. And this was part of a business strategy session. So these crystals are all symbolic of different aspects of my business, which is my life project, really, talking about pleasure, my life's work. So you can also have some crystals or stones or something in there, even, a magic stone or a shell or something like that, rather than just having it sit in a drawer or sit on a shelf and forget about it. Put it in your pouch. And then you just have it to play with and to touch and to be reminded of that magic moment and what it represents. All right. Also in my pleasure pouch is this rescue remedy. I talked about it also in that prior video, but I want to mention it again. So it's a herbal remedy. It's a flower essence, and it's this Bach company, and it's supposed to relax you. And I do find that it's relaxing, though I don't know if it's the substance so much, or if it's the just the act of calming down, just to put something on the tongue and to savor that. Already that's a kind of mindfulness. And speaking of mindfulness, I should really say that this whole pleasure pouch experience is a mindfulness activity. It's just that rather than focusing on random things that are around you, which is great too, right? Focus on whatever it is that it's around you, on your body and the here and now. Rather than doing that, or only doing that, I should say, you're bringing yourself some things that are already pre-selected for their ability to delight you. So intrinsically now there is more motivation to do some kind of mindfulness, to be in the moment, right? Because rather than going like, oh shit, I gotta like, ground myself. I want to do some sort of mindfulness now, or whatever they say I should do, right, to get less stress. You now have some fun things to play with. And if you give yourself over to any of them, there you are, in your body, in the here, in the now. All right, so talked about treats. We talked about maybe something specifically for relaxation, because all of this is going to be helpful for us during the stresses of our day. All right, so I've got a perfume bottle in here. So scent, if that's something that is very evocative for you, important to you, then go ahead and get an atomizer. That's what this is, where you can fill it with something, or a very small little bottle of perfume, or a cologne, or essential oil. And then there you have it. There you have it. Again, to ground you, to bring you into the here and now, to remind you of your essence, which can remind you of your truth, which can remind you of your underlying bliss. All right, 2 more items in my pleasure pouch. I have a little journal where I've got all kinds of little sayings and affirmations, and it's so much fun to write. It's such a small little handwriting. It's not my forte to do so, but I forced myself to just write really small. All kinds of different reminders. So you can get yourself on Etsy. There's lots of people who sell these tiny little journals. But, even a bigger size journal would fit in there, All right. And the last thing I've got in my pleasure pouch is this lovely blue silk pouch that is filled with a tarot deck. Filled with a tarot deck that the box is falling apart, but the deck is completely intact, and it is tiny. In fact, it's called Tiny Tarot, and I'll put in the description who makes this, because it's just fabulous to have this. And if you're the type of person who does like to do a little divination, whether you're believing in that fully, or just want to have some fun, it just gives you just something else to think about, a little extra guidance throughout the day. So that's something I always have with me as well, and that's great in stressful moments, particularly, to pull out a card and see what is the universe or the powers that be or whatever it is, right? But what wisdom is out there for me, possibly to help me shift out of this mode, So those are the items in my pleasure pouch. Go ahead and get your own and fill it with delightful items. And in the comments below, let me know if any of this that I've talked about inspired you in a particular way, and what you're going to put in your own pleasure pouch. I really hope that you take this on, this little challenge, and that you run with it. Okay, I will see you in the next video, part 3 of this series. See you later.